Country Cookin'. I'm your hostess, Cindy Schumacher. On today's show, we'll be making Mexican chicken Alfredo, quick and easy dinner rolls, cream top grapes, easy tiramisu with pound cake. So we're going to get started with the rolls so they have a little bit of time to raise. I'm going to mix 1 cup of warm water with a 1/3 cup of oil, 1/4 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of yeast, okay. I'm just going to go ahead and whisk this together till the yeast dissolves. I'm always on the lookout for dinner rolls that don't take so much time, that don't take 2 raisings, and these rolls actually go rather quickly, and they're delicious. So I decided they'd be good with this meal. Okay, we're going to let this sit for about 8 minutes until it gets bubbly. It's been about 8 minutes, so we're ready to start adding the other ingredients. I have a tablespoon of softened butter, a beaten egg, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to just kind of stir this in on low. Okay, now I'm going to add flour about 1 cup at a time. If you have a standing mixer, you can use this. I don't have one, so once you get about 2.5 cups of flour, it's going to start gathering up the mixer. So then you're going to have to start working by hand. Now this recipe calls for anywhere from 3 to 4 cups of flour. What you want to do is just get it to the point where you've got a nice soft dough. You don't want too much so it's a hard dry dough, but I find that when I make this, the 3-cup mark works a little bit better. And then I just keep the flour on hand when I'm kneading it then to mix in the rest. this point, I think I'm ready to put it on the counter. And I'm gonna just keep working with it till I get it where I want it. You all probably know dough better than I do. So if you just get it to the point where it has a little bit of spring to it. I had an old friend once from St. Louis that would always say that kneading dough is therapy. So, and when it's still a little bit chilly outside, it's kind of nice to have something like warm bread coming out of the oven. While I'm kneading this, you want to knead it for about 5 minutes. We'll take a quick break so you don't have to watch me do this. We'll be right back.
Blazing fast broadband internet from Valley is now available and better than ever. Let us help you decide which speed is best for you. The 50 meg speed would be sufficient for 1 to 4 devices, mainly emailing and surfing the web. Our 100 meg speed works great for 5 to 8 devices and multiple users streaming and downloading video. If you have 8 devices or more that are simultaneously streaming or gaming, or if you have a medium-sized business, the 250 meg speed would work best for you. For extreme heavy home or work from home use, or if you have a medium to large business using 15 or more devices, you may want to consider our 500 meg download speed to fit your needs. And if you're a home or business that needs it all, we have our 1000 meg, 1 gig broadband internet speed. Call our office today at 437-2615 and talk with one of our staff members to pick the speed that's best for you.
Okay, my dough is ready. Now I'm going to divide it into 18 pieces. So I always, start by 2 and then I do it again and again and again. So now my 2 halves will have to go into 9 each. So then I do a third and a third, and then do those each in 3s. You might have another technique, but this always simple math always seems to work best for me. And if they're a little bit uneven, it's not that big of a deal. You can always pinch a little bit off of one and add it to another. Okay. And then you want to roll them so that they get kind of a smooth top. And I have greased a 9x13 pan. And another nice thing is I was saying that I always try to find some kind of a bread that goes rather quickly. The nice thing is this only takes 1 raising. So we're shaping our dough. We're going to cover it, let it sit for about, the instructions I think say you can just let it raise for about 10 minutes, up to 30 minutes. I usually kind of lean a little bit towards the 30-minute mark, so it gives the just a little bit fluffier. Now the recipe says to cover it with parchment paper. I'm going to use saran wrap because I like to insulate it a little better. So we're just going to loosely lay some plastic wrap over it. Now if you want a copy of any of these recipes, if you don't have internet, give the girls at Valley a call. They'll be happy to send out a copy of it. If you do have internet, you just go to the Valley homepage, www.valleytel.net. Look for the Country Cookin' Cow, and you'll find all the recipes there. I'm going to just set these aside, and I'm just going to get ready for the next. We're going to start mixing up the cake. Be right back. We're going to start on the pound cake. One thing I do want to tell you that there are pound cakes in a box in the grocery stores. So if you want to take that shortcut, do it. You know, but I just thought this is a recipe for a pound cake that I found that doesn't take 8 eggs. It only takes 4, and it doesn't take 4 cups of sugar. It takes 2, and it just has a lot of less ingredients, and yet it's still delicious. So we're going to get started on that, but I did want to give you the option of actually making your own pound cake. And a lot of times pound cakes are normally done in a bun pan, but in this instance we're making what we call an easy tiramisu, and so you want it in a pan. Also, if you can buy the recipe also says if you can buy the pound cake frozen in your dairy or in your frozen food section of your store. I've never been able to find one. But they say to slice it out in a single layer and then do all your topping on it. But so anyway, I'm giving you a couple options. You can do the box pound cake mix, or you can make your own. And this is a good recipe, and I just wanted to share that with you. So we're going to start with a pound of softened butter and 2 cups of sugar. I'm going to cream that. Okay, so now we're going to start adding eggs one at a time. And the reason you want to add your eggs one at a time is that they will incorporate, eggs will have a tendency, when you're mixing them with fat, which is the butter, they'll have a tendency to try to not blend in so well. And so that's why you want to do it gradually. You don't want to just dump them all in. It's just going to be a time saver, and it's just going to blend a lot better. So once you've got one done, drop in another one. Always works better if you crack them all and have them just ready to jump in instead of stopping, cracking another one. So you have a few more little dishes, but it's not. In the long run, it's a time saver. One more. Okay, to this I'm going to add a tablespoon of vanilla. I'm using real pure vanilla extract. If you want to use imitation, that's fine. But something like a pound cake where it's you're using a lot of expensive ingredients and everything, I always like to use the best that I have available to me. So I'm using pure vanilla. I'm going to take my spatula and just kind of pull that down. Okay. I have my flour here. This is 2 3/4 cup. To that, I'm going to add the 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. Just want to double check. Sometimes I mix so many things up, I want to make sure I've got the right one. Okay. 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Half teaspoon of salt. I should have a little bit of a bigger bowl, but we're going to incorporate this a little bit here. Okay, now we're going to start adding the flour mixture and a cup of milk. And what you want to do is, here again, it's to incorporate everything properly. You want to always start with your dry ingredients and then add your wet. So, and then you end up with your dry. So we're going to start out with some of the flour mixture. Add a little bit of the milk. This will also prevent your dough from becoming tough. When you dump all the flour in at one time, you'll get a more compact, tougher dough. So adding it gradually will give you the nice crumbly cake that you want. Okay, that looks like a nice batter. One thing that we've done in a previous show, I don't know if you remember, but when you're making a pound cake, a lot of times people will substitute some of the milk for a liqueur. You can do like a whiskey or rum, and it makes a nice holiday cake if you're doing it in the bundt pan. And then you could make a a sauce for it, like a glaze of some kind, and or throw a little amaretto in the glaze or something like that. So this would be a good recipe to do that, and do it in a bundt pan. But here again, we're using a 9x13 pan because this is going to be, it's going to have a tiramisu topping for it. So now spread it out as evenly as you can, because when you do it out in a pan like this, it'll tend to hold some of the ridges. Okay, looks like this. We're going to take a break while I pop this in the oven. We'll be right back.
Valley is now offering updated digital TV packages and prices. Call Valley today at 437-2615.
All right, we're going to start working on the Mexican chicken Alfredo. I have 2 pounds of chicken that I have removed all the fat, and I've cut it into small pieces like this. You don't want them to be too big because then they're harder to eat. This will incorporate it into the casserole a little better. So we're going to get this chicken going. To this I'm going to add a medium onion chopped, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Get that good and hot so it starts cooking, then we'll turn it down. Okay, this is a very simple recipe, and if there isn't a lot of fresh fruit in the stores, you usually can have grapes, and sometimes it's nice when you're having a casserole to have something a little bit fruity on the side. So we're going to start with 4 ounces of cream cheese, a 1/4 cup of sugar, and a 1/2 cup of sour cream. And we're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Using a lot of vanilla today. Okay. Once you get it all blended, the recipe actually says to put the grapes in a dish and then put a dollop of this on top. I just toss it all in together, and it's just easier. You can just take a scoop. People can take however much they want. Okay. So I have washed and stemmed 3 cups each of red grapes and green grapes. I'm going to toss it in. And then just stir it until everything is coated. And then put it back in the refrigerator to chill till you're ready to serve. And this is something that you can make in advance too, or if you need a salad to take for a potluck or to church for a funeral. This is something that you can stir together, put in a bowl, and You're set to go. Okay, we're gonna go over and check on our chicken. We'll turn it down, just about ready. Put this in a nice bowl and then we'll put it in the refrigerator till we're ready. Looks like this. Put it in the refrigerator. We're going to take a break while we wait for the chicken to finish. We'll be right back. All right, the chicken is cooked, so I'm going to add 2 jars of Alfredo sauce. This recipe, I forgot to tell you earlier, is one of those that they say cook once, eat twice, and that you would divide it into 2 8x8 pans and freeze one, and cook one, you know, when you make it. But if you've got a bigger crowd, then you just do it all at once, which is what we're doing today. I'm just going to put it all in a 9x13 pan. So I'm going to stir in 2 jars of Alfredo sauce. Got it there. I'm going to stir this in and get it a little bit bubbly. Up a little more, kind of speed things up a little. The nice thing about this recipe too, being one of those cook once, eat twice recipes, is that you know, if you have someone that's sick and you want to take them you know, something to eat, this is kind of one of those nice things that you can do, and it's delicious. It gives you a kind of a little bit of a twist on a normal chicken Alfredo, and it's not too spicy, unless of course you use a spicier taco seasoning. Okay, to this I'm going to add a cup of salsa. I'm just using Chi-Chi's salsa from the store. I'm going to add a cup of Parmesan cheese, 2 teaspoons of taco seasoning, and a 1/4 cup of milk. Now if you're going to divide this in 2 and freeze one, you just want to cover it with foil and it'll keep up to about 3 months. And then when you want to use it, then you'll thaw it in your refrigerator and then bake it at 350 for about an hour. Okay, this is ready now to add, grab a big bowl, to add to the pasta. I cooked my pasta earlier, and I'm using the cavatelli, which is these curly corkscrew noodles. Start with this a little bit and then I'll add some more. There. This is a greased pan. Okay, we're going to put this in the oven and we're going to bake it at 350 for about a half an hour, 35 minutes. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Internet is here. Valley now has higher broadband speeds of up to 1 gigabit. Get the bandwidth you need for all your devices at one time. Gaming with no lag time. Video stream your favorite movies instantly in HD quality. Video chat with friends and family without interruption. Download your favorite music and photos in seconds. All on our 100% fiber optics network. Valley offers managed Wi-Fi and backup services too, bringing together all the services you need. Valley Telecommunications Cooperative.
Okay, we're going to get the rolls in the oven. They're nice and fluffy. I have just a little bit of just plain old milk. Just going to kind of brush the tops of them. And then we're going to pop these in the oven at 375 for about half an hour. While we're waiting for the cake to get done, we're going to make the tiramisu topping. I have a cup of heavy whipping cream here. We're going to get going. You want to whip it until it's stiff. Kind of a nice dessert, and it's good any time of the year. Everybody likes tiramisu, especially if you're a coffee lover. And this topping is so good, you're going to want to take spoonfuls of it yourself and just eat it before you put it on the cake. while I'm waiting for this to stiffen up, we'll take a quick break. I've got the whipping cream all whipped. I have an 8-ounce cream cheese that I softened a little bit. And to that I'm going to add a cup of sugar. Okay, then we're going to add a half cup of Hershey's syrup. Okay, now we're going to fold in the whipped cream. Okay. I'll just get it to the point where you don't see any marbling. I think we're good. Okay, I'm going to put this in the refrigerator till we're ready to put it on the cake. We'll take a quick break and clean up. We'll be right back.
Valley Telecommunications, we pride ourselves in providing the home team advantage. But what does that mean? It means going above and beyond to take care of our customers' needs by providing exceptional customer service, because helping you helps all of us. As a cooperative, each time you subscribe to our services, you are investing in our community, which allows all of us to build and benefit from the newest technologies. Make the switch today to Valley Telecommunications and experience the home team advantage.
All right, we're gonna assemble the cake. I have 3/4 cup of strong coffee, and I'm just gonna baste that over the top of the cake. Okay, that's good. Now we'll spread the topping. Right now, if you want to, you can crush Heath candy bars with the Heath, you want the ones with the milk chocolate on too, because it just gives a little better flavor. I just buy these. You can find them right where the chocolate chips are. And then we're just gonna sprinkle them over the top. Pretty good. You don't have to do it quite as thick as I've done it, but that's how we like to eat it. So I'm gonna get this in the refrigerator until we're ready to serve. Be right back. Okay, we're gonna dish up. There we have it. We have our Mexican chicken Alfredo, our quick and easy dinner rolls, our cream top grapes, and our easy tiramisu with pound cake. Thanks for joining us on this edition of Country Cooking. We hope to see you next time.